Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Yes, we are sitting together down on my couch and we are just having a conversation about how we are the average of the top 5 people that we spend the most time with. Now, if you don't know, my name is Jamie. I'm the J in JLOVES, where I share all the things that I love, because if I love it, maybe you'll love it too. And yeah, so 2 days ago I did a video, a challenging video on the topic of depression or being in a rut, things of that nature. Yesterday's video was on the top 20 influencers that really helped me get out of that state. And of course, I not only got out of that state, but I went way beyond and now am like the happiest I've ever been and feeling the best that I've ever felt in my entire life. So that's saying a lot, right? We have to be grateful for those down in the dumps times, because it elevates us. We push way further past anything that we could have believed in, because we're really paying attention to it, right? We're like not in that comfort zone. So, but with those top 20 influencers, I want to talk about this idea that we are the average of the 5 people, the top 5 people that we spend the most time with. Now, I did not hear about this concept until like a few years ago. And it, you know, when you hear it, it makes sense, right? You might not even need to hear it. You just know, yeah, like, of course, like we're the average, you know. But if you haven't already, I would invite you to really think about that deeply, right? In terms of your joy, happiness, or where you want to go in life. And, you know, I want to be cautious with saying where we want to go in life, because I do not believe, and a lot of people, the influencers that I follow, don't believe that everybody needs to strive to be something in particular. Nobody needs to strive to be a business person, needs to be a millionaire, needs to have all this stuff, right? It's never really about that. It's about truly getting to understand what it is that you want for your life. And that can mean so many different things. It can literally mean a quiet cottage, raising a wonderful family and getting time to spend with your loved ones. Or it could mean 20 businesses helping people on grand scales. You know, it really is just a matter of what you want. I think the biggest challenge I've seen in, you know, my own life and with the world that really kind of, I would say, was upsetting to me or bothered me, because it was just sad, is that I didn't feel like a lot of people had the time to think about it, you know, or that they even got quiet enough to even realize what is happening with their lives. You know, I was telling Natalie, I forgot what we were talking about, but I was like, yeah, for so much of my life, I just feels, I was telling my friend Sandra that, you know, it just feels like I was like in some sort of world dryer, just being tossed around all over the place. And it's not, I'm not going to blame the world. You know, I'm sure there was like tons of choices where I could have chosen differently, but we just don't know what those are. And I think that we kind of, Americans kind of got trapped into a little bit of a zone, but I see that and feel that we're all kind of getting out of it, kind of getting woke, you know, things of that nature. But so the people that we spend the time with and the influences that we allow in our lives are going to be absolutely critical, right? I mean, think about it. If you're spending time with, you know, 5 people and all they want to do is whatever, get drunk, do this, do that, but your mindset is wanting something different. Let's say you want to explore what your passion is in life and how you want to contribute. How would you like to make money so that you can support yourself in a way that you really enjoy? You know, if you've got 5 people that are like wanting to just party and hang out all the time, obviously that's not going to work well. So, but I would also invite you just to evaluate your people, right? And I will say also, I wanted to say that for me, if you're like me, where your circle is really small, right? So right now, at least for the last few years, it's really myself and Natalie. And then of course we have our cat. We had 2, one passed away last year, sadly, but with Missy. So I mean, the top 5 people that I spend the time with are just Missy and Natalie. And that's mostly because I really don't have close friends like that. I've never really had. I never developed a whole lot of close friendships. I'm so happy, Sandra, I love you, that one of the few, maybe only friendships that I ever had when I was little, we're circling back and we're getting back into that. But I was just someone who moved schools a lot, like sometimes every year, and I just never developed those kind of close friendships. So yeah, so what do you do when your circle or the people that are around you, maybe even your parents if you're a teen or whatever, are not representative of what you would like? You know, maybe you're a teen and you aren't sure of what you want and what you like, but you feel maybe, you know, one or two parents are caught up in the rat race, or maybe they are a little negative, or who knows what the situation. What do you do then? Well, I would say first and foremost, you know, definitely try to look into things where it's about protecting your energy, right? So I would Google that. I don't even know if I can speak on that matter now, but definitely want to look up and figure out how to, you know, love yourself enough to make sure that you're protecting your own energy. But in terms of like figuring out how to get these people into your life that are going to affect you in a positive way and that are going to bring your average up, right? Or take a look at that video that I made yesterday on my top 20 influencers, because that's what I did. Because I didn't have a big circle, right? And I didn't have a lot of friends, and even though I have some amazing family members, they're all very busy. They're all doing different projects that are quite different from what I would like to do, or what I am doing now. Obviously, I'm filming this, which is all about content creation, reaching out, helping people. They help people too, but in a different way. They're like, one of the family members is BJJ Mixed Martial Arts, the compound at Silver Spring, which I'll link below. But, you know, so I didn't have anyone, and I felt, you know, that's, you know, a challenging place to be, is like wanting to be interested in YouTube content creation and all these other things, and reaching back and helping people, and you have no one to talk to about it. You have no one to spit ideas with. You have nothing, right? You just have yourself, which you can only get but so far. I learned that the hard way, is that I've tried to do everything by myself for so long, and that's not going to work. I did that just because I was so independent, but I don't think the universe wants us to be alone. They want us to connect, right? So we need to connect with people. So the tip that I have is that I found the best influencers that I needed in my life. It was, right, the Tony Robbins, you know, Roberto Blake, Connie, all these people, and I made them my friends. I don't mean literally. Don't call them and ask them if they're my friends. They may not know me. Some of them may, okay? That picture that I had with Tony Robbins is actually a real picture. That was me, but, you know, to be honest, like, anyone who had the money to buy that ticket could get a picture with them. Nevertheless, we are connected for life, right? Hi, Tone. That's what his friends and family call him, I think. Anyhow, so I made them my best friends. How did I do that? Well, I listened to them every day. I was on YouTube, I was listening to their podcast, I was doing their programs. If they were on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm writing back, yes girl, that's so funny, but like, I'm being genuine, I'm really connecting. And one of the things I had to get over with was that, like, feeling silly, like, why am I gonna comment back? There's like 5,000 comments on here, why am I gonna comment back? You do it because it's the energy that you wanna put out. And to be honest, a lot of them, I had many situations that I got the attention of these new friends, and not because I was crazy. It wasn't like I was like yelling at their comments section all the time on purpose. I was doing absolutely what was natural for me. I only commented when I felt like it. I was genuine, and I had no ulterior motive but just to be connected. But the thing is that once a YouTuber, as an example, starts seeing your name and starts hearing your voice, they get to know you too. It is a connection. So I basically made the people that I needed in my life my bestest friends at that time. Whether they know me or not, I'm connected to them. We're friends. Hey, reality is only in your mind, okay? There was someone who, Oprah had a gentleman who was like locked up in prison incorrectly for like like tons of years, right? This happens a lot apparently, but tons of years. And I think one of the things that he said that helped him through it was that he was married to Halle Berry, okay? And I absolutely love that. And he literally, in his mind, he was married to Halle Berry. And I don't really remember the details, but he basically got through it just by living in his world, which was his truth or his imagination or whatever you want to call it. And it got, you know, that was like part of the reason what helped him get through. And that is so true. Like whatever we think, believe, and want to believe is absolutely true, which is a huge manifestation thing too. So I'm not sure that he's ever gonna be able to marry Halle Berry, but if that's true, I'm sure there's like a ton of us, right, that are gonna be trying to manifest that anytime soon. But anyhow, I digress. So yeah, so that's my tip about that, is that if you don't have anyone in your circle, I have 2 tips, okay? The first one is find the best of the best teachers, the best influencers. Go follow them on all your social media accounts. Get connected, start learning from them, reply to them, reach out to them if you feel like it. You know, don't get like obsessed or anything, but just literally connect with them. The second tip is that whatever you might be interested in, there are probably groups for you, and they are wanting and they want to connect with others. One of the biggest things that also influenced my life and was being a part of what's called the SOAR Community Network. It's soarcommunitynetwork.com. I would totally suggest people checking them out. Let me just read here on, they are on a mission to build communities, not workforces. And they bring people in together that are thought leaders, you know, CEOs, you know, holistic people. They just bring all these like really talented, smart people together, and we talk and work through all kinds of things. It's basically anyone who's like heart focused, but also kind of a little bit business and entrepreneurial driven, because you know it's about reaching out and empowering yourselves. Being a part of that community has elevated. I was already on a good path. I had started my journey, but when that hit, it took me to a completely different level. I will always be connected with the SOAR Community Network. I absolutely love them. If any of them ever watches, I love you guys. And it really, I never knew that those kinds of communities existed in these mastermind calls or these mastermind meetings where we get together, but it is phenomenal. I can't, you know, without getting too far into it, but I can tell you that when you bring people together that are community driven and they have the same mission, and then you have someone super smart like Mali and Victor, who are the owners and who run SOAR Community Network, you're just gonna get fireworks. I'm telling you, I have met some of the most amazing people in that network, and crazy things have happened for me in my business, with clients, with me personally, with me, you know, developing or starting to develop friendships. Absolutely find your network. So the first one, go make best friends with the best and the smartest people in your industry of what you're interested in, whether it's finding yourself, finding your calling, getting more spiritual, or if you're business driven, or if you're wanting to do YouTube content creation, you know, learning videography, photography, whatever the topic is, you can find the best and start connecting with them. And then the second one is go find communities and networks that you can be a part of. I'll give you another example. I mentioned Roberto Blake yesterday, who teaches creators and entrepreneurs all kinds of things. Well, he has a private Facebook group that you can be a member of, and you can immediately get connected to a bunch of people that are doing and wanting the same thing. And really, the peer-to-peer learning is huge. That is a big, like, I can tell you right now, from my background is technology training, right? Me just sitting down and training a bunch of people is never going to have the same effect as me helping, teaching, training, coaching people, plus the people that are getting trained, interacting and learning from and to one another. And me also learning from them, because they're always teaching me things as well, right? It is a community. It is not a one-way learning. That is how we get the best of the best. So that is all, folks. That's my 2 tips on that. And I hope that the average that you are at with the top 5 people that you're spending the most time with is shooting to the moon, for whatever that moon looks like for you, because it's really, really important. I can't tell you how I should have, if I would have really gotten this point a little bit younger in my years, I might have changed my whole perspective on a number of things that took place in my life. But it's a learning experience. But don't wait till you're 42, almost 43 like me to get this lesson. If you are a teen, I suggest please, please, please start to be very particular about who you're spending your time with, who you're connected with, because you want to be shooting for the moon, whatever that means to you. I never want to sound like I'm like, you got to be an entrepreneur, you got to make $1 billion. You know, I'm quite focused on that. I'll be honest with you. I am focused on connecting and contributing big. I don't need to make $1 billion. I'd like to make $1 million though. But because the more that we're financially secure, the more that we're able to give, and the more that we have more to give out. So so just reach for what you want and don't aim too low, right? Our dreams should scare us, right? We should think of it, not literally scare us, but we should be like, oh my gosh, what if that takes place? Like, it should really be that big. Because remember, if you shoot for, what is it? Shoot for the moon and hit the stars, you're still among the stars. That's really true. I mean, if you set the bar too low, right? You know, you can only go but so far. So you want to really dream as big as you can. And just like Natalie said, I think she said, no matter how big your dreams are, that she promises you, you deserve it. And that is, ooh, oh, that gives me chills. It's so true. We all deserve the biggest and the best. And don't let any judgments or fears that you've had before, self-limiting beliefs, get in your way. Go big, dream big, be happy, be excited. Life is a playground. Take it seriously. Seriously fun, okay? Look at it like it is literally a playground. And I know that that sounds like, I'm telling you, if you would have told me that a few years ago when I was down in the dumps, I'm not really sure how I would have took it, to be honest with you. I would have been like, what kind of playground is this? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind. But having learned all of the tools that I did, I can now truly see that, wow, okay, the more fun I was having, the more joyful, the more I relaxed, the more I trusted the universe, the more I trusted myself, the more I did play and not take things so seriously, not let my brain lead, right? We should not. That was one of the biggest things I learned. Don't let my brain lead. My brain doesn't know. It's just gonna try and calculate and blah, blah, blah. Lead with your heart, your brain. Get your brain on board. Tell it, no, don't worry about all the other stuff I did before. Forget it. We're having a good time. We're going to make life our beautiful playground where we're going to contribute, we're going to love, we're going to support, we're going to care. And the top 5 people that I'm going to be spending time with and are my bestest friends are going to be brilliant. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.